What's up? So today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm coming at you with a video looking at Black Ops 4 Zombies. The game is 5 weeks out as of today, as of September 4th, and I think it's time that we finally start talking. We're in this state of just wanting Treyarch content so badly that there's this idea of almost like blind hype, where I feel like no one even wants to say anything remotely bad about Black Ops 4 because they want it to be so good, and to even consider that there might be something not perfect about it might kill the hype. But Black Ops 4 is something that's super important to me, and I don't want to just give it that blind hype and that blind excitement without looking and being critical about this game. And that's what we're gonna do today. Today in this video, we're going to be looking at 4 reasons why I'm actually nervous for this game and why I think it might not be the 100% success that everyone is kind of claiming it is going to be. I'm making this video because I'm genuinely worried about a game that I truly want to love, and I think it's important to just voice my concerns. Anyways, we'll go through this video in like a top 5 sort of chronological order, and instead of 5 points, it'll be 4. Anyways, the first and most obvious point that I wanted to talk about is competition. So it seems like the last year or two, there really haven't been a ton of games that have been absolutely huge in the gaming community as far as like YouTube and Twitch goes. It's really just, the last year's obviously been Fortnite, but even before that, I feel like there really wasn't a lot of games that were out and popular. Fortnite has sucked the oxygen out of the room in the last year, but really, there hasn't been a lot of games to even compete with Fortnite. But it seems just as Black Ops 4 is coming out, there are also 20 other games that are very good as well that might be competing for that #1 spot. And I think from one side, you can talk about how well the game's gonna sell and how much money Activision's gonna make. But what I like to look at is I like to look at the community. And when I think of the community, I think of YouTube. I think of people watching on Twitch. I think of, all the discussions and threads people have on sites like Reddit and all that stuff. And that's what I worry about. Zombies is so much related to the YouTube community, and when you have a ton of people that are watching Zombies videos, you have a whole bunch of content being made because there's actually viewers to watch that content, and it's like this very positive and uplifting effect on the community. On the other side of things, if no one wants to watch content, then no YouTubers want to make videos because this is their job and they need to make money to support themselves. You get less content, you get less viewership, and it's this downward effect that really you've seen like in the last year from Fortnite. So what I'm worried about is that there's going to be a lot of games coming out that are really good and really fun to watch on YouTube that aren't Black Ops 4, that are kind of gonna suck the viewership away, and I'm worried that that might actually hurt the community. Now, as far as games and competition go, I've got a bit of a list here. So we've got 3 games that are coming out that I don't think are gonna be too much of a bothersome or a burden on Black Ops 4. That's Destiny 2, Forsaken, Spider-Man, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. They might be good games, but they won't be competing on YouTube that much with Black Ops 4. Now, the games Battlefield, Fallout, and Smash Bros are going to be huge. I'm very excited for them, but I can't see them having a huge effect on Black Ops 4 either. But there are 2 very big games that are going to be directly competing with Black Ops 4. These are the 2 games that I worry about most. The first is obviously Fortnite. It's still a titan no matter what anybody thinks. It is going to be competing directly with Black Ops 4. And then the other is coming from the titan of a studio, Rockstar, and that's obviously Red Dead Redemption 2. There's going to be a lot of competition between these 3 games, and I worry that it might negatively affect Black Ops 4. And actually, Activision is even worried about Red Dead because they normally release in November just because they didn't want to have to compete with Red Dead Redemption. Anyways, that's my first point. Moving on to my second point, this is actually related to Black Ops 4 itself, and this is related around content. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I think it is a mistake to release 4 Zombies maps on launch day. It's very simple from my perspective. It's just it's too much content packed into one event. If you want to look at the only game that's been successful this year, which is Fortnite, one of the keys to their success has been constant updates, and I really worry that just here, take all this content and then like we'll see you in a few months. I don't know if that's gonna work for a solid business model. And let me explain this again from a YouTuber standpoint. I imagine launch day going something like this. People are gonna be saying like, okay, where are we at in the Easter egg? And then the obvious question to that is gonna be, which Easter egg? And it's like, well, classified, no one's really playing. Blood of the Dead, we're here. And it's going to be so convoluted. It's going to really split the community of I'm going for the Blood of the Dead Easter egg, and I'm going for the Voyage Easter egg, I'm going for 9. And I don't think that's good. I really don't think that's a good model for the hardcore community. Now, yes, if you're just a casual and you just want to play and have fun, you get all these maps. But for us, like the hardcore zombies players out there, the community is going to be so divided on day one that I think it's going to really hurt us. In my opinion, I think what would have been really cool is if they dropped one map, and as soon as the Easter egg gets solved in any game, then another map gets unlocked for the world, and continue that process. Maybe even give us 2, give us classified, because it's going to be probably a basic map, and then maybe 9, and then let us solve 9, and then we get Voyage of Despair, and then once we solve Voyage of Despair, give us Blood of the Dead. I just personally think that too much content in this case is going to be bad. It's going to split all the YouTubers up, it's going to split you guys up, and I really worry that we're just going to get content overload and then be like, okay, we're done now after 2 weeks of solving Easter eggs. And then the problem is going to be, okay, now we don't have any content. It's going to be a big bang. I'm just worried that it might fizzle out. Now, my next point is actually related to something pretty specific that I've never given too much info on and input on, but this is storyline. Now, I'm certainly not the only one that feels this, as Lex actually tweeted a few days ago. He said, I'm getting a bad feeling that the Chaos storyline in BO4 is going to flop, and I absolutely agree with him. When I do these videos, I like to make a brief outline of what I'm going to talk about, and my notes for this number 3 point is, I might not care about the Chaos crew. And then it goes on to say, actually, ... I don't. As of today, I don't care about the Chaos crew. I care about our main, premise crew of Nikolai and the rest of them. I kind of care about the Transit crew because I know about them, but why should I care about this next crew? I have nothing invested in them as of today. I don't really know what they're doing. And honestly, I don't know, even if this is a great storyline, if it's going to get me as invested as I would with our main 4. The only reason that people cares about them is because Treyarch has such a good track record of making great storylines, but be honest with yourself for a second. Are you really that interested in knockoff Richtofen guy? No, it's again, I'm not making this video to hate, but as of right now, I have no interest in that side of the storyline, and all I really care about is Blood of the Dead, which is a remake, and I worry about the storyline. Obviously, this is very subject to change. We could get that first Easter egg done and I'm like, oh my God, I care so much. But what I've been given right now, it's just not enough to get me interested. I can't wait for Blood of the Dead. It looks amazing. Classified should be cool, even though we don't know anything about it. But Chaos Crew, whoa, crazy. I don't feel drawn to them yet. Anyways, moving on to our 4th and final point. This is a bit of a weird one that I just decided to throw in last minute into this list. But it's PlayStation 4 exclusivity. Fuck exclusivity. It is the stupid, listen, it is 2018. It makes me so mad. This is something that I really have no argument against. It's literally just bad for your game. Obviously, this is really good for Activision because they make more money because Sony pays them to have that exclusivity. I just don't understand how in 2018, people are okay with a business model of basically just limiting 50% of your consumers. It's just absolutely foolish. How much does it suck to be an Xbox user, a PC user, and you can't play those maps for a full month after the Easter egg has been beaten? It is absolute bullshit. It makes the game so much worse, and I absolutely hate it. I feel like it leaves the customers and the consumers with a bad taste in their mouth. It's not giving PlayStation users the content first. It's just giving Xbox and PC users the content last, and it's really not cool. It was one thing in 2009, Xbox Live gets it first, but again, 2019, you gotta be better than that. You're competing, again, with Rockstar, Epic Games, and I just don't think that that is a play that is really all that smart. So yeah, those are my 4 points. There's a lot of competition and that might hold back from Black Ops 4 a little bit, but really we're just gonna have to wait and see how that plays out. That being said though, PS4 exclusivity for DLC is not helping that competition at all. And then my other two worries as they relate to actual gameplay is I worry we're getting too much content all at once. And the other and last thing is I'm not interested in the storyline yet, and I really hope that I will be. Those are the 4 reasons why I'm scared that Black Ops 4 might fail. I think it's going to be a great game, but there are definitely some hurdles that Treyarch and Activision are going to have to jump before we can come to that conclusion. Anyways, before we do end this, I also just want to take a quick mention and talk to you guys that made it to the end of this video, because you're obviously probably more hardcore fans. I just wanted to talk about kind of like the future of this channel and what's going to be going on with Black Ops 4. Ultimately, I can't really tell you what type of content that I'm going to be posting because I don't know, and it's going to be something that I figure out every week as I go and I make videos. But as of now, let me give you like a very brief and vague kind of idea of what I'm thinking. I'm definitely going to continue to post Fortnite. I'm still having a lot of fun making content with that game, and I'm very curious to see how things change once all these other games come out. I think it's going to be very interesting. Now, that being said, as far as zombies goes, I just want to be very upfront with you guys that if you subscribe to me for a very specific form of content, you might be a little bit disappointed because I think in this last year, I've grown a ton as a creator, like more than I have in the last 4 years. I've just learned how to make much better content. And I think, you know, what I'm going to say is if you're like, oh, I can't wait for Pat to be back to streaming daily, you're going to be disappointed because I really don't have any plans to going back to being a consistent streamer. One, I'm going back to school full time and I simply don't have time to be putting hours into streaming every single day. And two, it's not me anymore. You know, it was something that I did for a time, but you know, I also made top 5s and recorded, you know, an hour and split that video up into 4 parts and uploaded that for a long time too. I used to make vlogs on another channel. And the thing with me is I don't plan on being a static creator that just does the same thing forever. I want to grow and make the best content that I can. And personally, I just feel like streaming is something that was something I did. It's something that I might do here and there, but I'm not going to be consistently streaming. I'll be doing top 10s, I'll be doing top 5s. I'm going to be doing videos like this where I just talk about the overall state of the game, and I'm also just going to be adapting and figuring it out as I go. It's really easy to look at the past and think of how great that was and what an awesome time that was for content, but ultimately things change, and it's so ironic because I feel like the zombies community is very set in their ways, and we just want you to stream and do this, that, and the other thing, but we also love the famous quote from JFK, which is, change is the law of life. And it's very true to me. And I'm going to be evolving my content and changing it and trying to make the best content I can for Black Ops 4. So that's where I'm at. I really have no specific ideas of what I'm going to be doing, but mostly balancing Fortnite and zombies as far as this goes. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. I'm going to end the video right there. If you're new to the channel and you've made it this far, maybe feel free to subscribe. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.